History isn't always written by the victors. Sometimes, it's written by the loudest voices, and they decide what you get to remember and what gets erased. But every now and then, something slips through the cracks, whispers of forgotten brilliance, rebellion, or courage that could have changed the world if only they weren't buried. Today, we're digging them up, 5 secrets history tried to erase, yet they remain powerful enough to inspire you even now. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you'll see how the hidden corners of our past are more inspiring than anything we were taught in school. 1. The woman who out-invented Edison but was written out of history. In the late 1800s, a young girl named Margaret Knight worked long hours in a textile factory. She wasn't rich, nor was she formally educated like the men who dominated the industrial age. But what she did have was something far more powerful: curiosity and a mind that refused to stay quiet. When a factory machine malfunctioned one day and injured a worker, Margaret, just 12 years old, decided to fix the problem herself. She designed a safety mechanism that prevented such accidents from happening again, an invention that saved countless lives. But that was only the start of her extraordinary journey. Years later, Margaret created a machine that could automatically fold and glue paper into flat-bottomed bags, a design that transformed the packaging industry and is still used today. However, when she filed for a patent, a man stole her design. In court, he argued that a woman couldn't have invented something so complex. Margaret refused to back down. She presented her notes, sketches, and prototypes, undeniable proof of her genius. Against all odds, the judge ruled in her favor, making her one of the first women in U.S. history to win a patent dispute. She went on to create over 90 inventions, yet her name slipped into the shadows of history. Her story remains a powerful reminder that true talent doesn't wait for permission. Margaret Knight proved that brilliance has no gender, and that when people tell you that you can't, it's often because deep down, they know you can. 2. The city that vanished because it was too advanced for its time. Thousands of years ago, long before the Romans or the Greeks, there was a city perfectly planned, with drainage systems, paved streets, and even standardized weights for trade. It was called Mohenjo-Daro, part of the ancient Indus Valley civilization. And for nearly 4,000 years, it lay buried under the sands of Pakistan, completely forgotten by history. When it was rediscovered in the 1922, archaeologists were stunned. The people of Mohenjo-Daro had no kings, no wars recorded, and no signs of slavery or social class. Their city was built with precision aligned to the stars, connected by brick roads, and equipped with the world's first urban plumbing system. They lived in peace for centuries until something wiped them out. No one knows what happened. Some say climate change, others say shifting rivers. But their disappearance wasn't the end, it was a pause. Because when their ruins were found, they changed the way historians saw civilization itself. The idea that progress only came from the West was shattered. The truth was, humans had been intelligent, organized, and innovative across the globe long before anyone wrote about it. That's the secret Mohenjo-Daro still whispers today. Greatness doesn't always come with recognition. Sometimes, it's buried waiting for the right time to remind us that every culture, every place, holds wisdom we've forgotten. 3. The slave who used music to win freedom and sparked a revolution. In the 1700s, aboard a slave ship bound for the Caribbean, a child named Ignatius Sancho was born into chains. He entered a world that denied him everything: freedom, dignity, and even identity. But what no one could take from him was his mind, his rhythm, and his spirit. From the moment he could walk, Sancho faced a world built to silence him. Yet he chose to speak not through anger, but through art. As a young man, he was taken to England and enslaved in a household. There, he found small moments of kindness, a few people who recognized his brilliance. They helped him learn to read and write, and soon, Sancho began to devour books, poetry, and music. He taught himself composition, crafting melodies that were both elegant and full of soul. His talent caught the attention of London's upper class, but he used that newfound connection not for comfort but for change. Through his writing and music, Sancho exposed the brutal truth of slavery to those who preferred to ignore it. His letters spoke with both wit and pain, revealing the human cost of the empire's cruelty. His words spread quietly through Britain, awakening empathy where there had once been indifference. In time, Ignatius Sancho became the first black man to vote in Britain, a symbolic victory that shook the foundations of prejudice. Yet after his death, history almost buried him. His letters and compositions faded into obscurity until they were rediscovered centuries later. In one letter, he wrote, "The chains of slavery are broken when the mind learns it was born free." Sancho's story is a reminder that art can be rebellion, and that words once spoken with courage can outlive every attempt to silence them. His melody still echoes, proving that creativity isn't just expression, it's freedom. 4. The underground city that refused to surrender, a hidden world beneath the earth. Far beneath the rocky lands of Cappadocia, in modern-day Turkey, lies a secret city built not to rule but to survive. Thousands of years ago, when invaders swept through the region, entire communities vanished overnight. But they hadn't been destroyed, they had gone underground. This place, known as Derinkuyu, is one of the most extraordinary creations in human history. A vast underground city carved into volcanic rock, descending over 200 feet deep. It could house 20,000 people, complete with ventilation shafts, stables, wine cellars, and even schools. The residents lived there in silence for months, hidden from enemies who passed unknowingly above them. What's even more astonishing is how it was built by hand, with primitive tools, yet with such precision that air flowed freely and temperatures stayed constant. When danger came, massive stone doors could roll shut, sealing the city safely from the outside world. For centuries, Derinkuyu remained a secret. Locals spoke of strange echoes underground, but few believed it existed until it was accidentally rediscovered in the 1962, when a man renovating his home broke through a wall and found a tunnel leading into the darkness. Derinkuyu's secret reminds us that strength isn't always loud. Sometimes, survival depends not on conquest, but on patience, unity, and the will to endure quietly. Hidden cities like these prove that even when history forgets, humanity finds a way to adapt to protect what matters most, and to live unseen but unbroken. 5. The scientist who solved one of nature's greatest mysteries and was forgotten because of her gender. In 1951, a young scientist named Rosalind Franklin was taking X-ray photographs of DNA. Her images were clear, precise, and unlike anything anyone had seen before. One photograph, known today as Photo 51, revealed the spiral structure of DNA. It was the missing piece that explained how life replicates itself. But while she was still analyzing her data, two male scientists, Watson and Crick, saw her work without her permission. They used her findings to build their model and published the discovery first. They won the Nobel Prize. Rosalind did not. She died young, never knowing how much her work had changed the world. For decades, her name was barely mentioned in textbooks. But eventually, the truth emerged. Historians found her notebooks, her correspondence, and the undeniable proof that her work was the foundation of the discovery. Rosalind Franklin's legacy now stands for something bigger than science. It's about recognition and how easily brilliance can be dismissed when it doesn't fit society's mold. She never got to celebrate her success, but her story continues to inspire millions of women in science today. Her life whispers a powerful truth. Even if they take your credit, they can't erase your impact. The lesson beneath it all. 5 forgotten stories. 5 secrets history almost buried, not because they lacked greatness, but because the world wasn't ready for them. A factory girl who refused to be stolen from. A peaceful city that proved progress doesn't need war. A musician who turned slavery into song. A quiet woman who chose compassion over fear. And a scientist who revealed life's code, even when the world ignored her. Each story reminds us of one thing. Truth doesn't stay buried forever. No matter how many centuries pass, light finds its way through the cracks. What was hidden eventually shines. And maybe that's the most inspiring part of all. Because if these people forgotten, underestimated, erased could still leave their mark, then so can you. Your story might not be recognized today. It might be buried, misunderstood, or overlooked. But the world always catches up to truth eventually. So keep building, keep creating, keep speaking your truth. Because one day, someone will uncover your story and realize that you were one of the ones who changed everything. History's secrets remind us that the most powerful legacies aren't the loudest, they're the ones that endure. If you've ever felt unseen, unheard, or forgotten, remember this. Even buried seeds grow. Your time will come. Keep writing your story.